Good evening and welcome to MSC Opas Season 44. Expect the unexpected. I'm Mike Wright, and as always, I'm joined by Opas Executive Director Ann Black. Ann, it's always great to see you.
And it's always great to see you, Mike.
Thanks.
And thank you so much to you and all of our friends here at KBTX for helping us to unveil Season 44.
It is always a pleasure and an honor to work with you. Now, before the show, you were sharing with me how busy things have been this summer and what you've been up to. Tell us how the response has been from the community to the new season so far.
We have been very busy this summer, particularly the box office has been busy this summer, selling tickets and packaging and mailing, and the response has been phenomenal. After 30 plus years of doing this, you work and you put together a season and you think, wow, this is going to be great. But until it goes on sale, the jury's out.
Yeah, you never know. And one of those unexpected things is your opening night is early this year. In fact, it's right around the corner. Is this time soonest you ever opened a season?
We opened with Steve Martin and the Steep Canyon Rangers several years ago in August, and that's a stretch for us. I mean, we really have to hustle to be ready by then. And we ended our season late with Tony Bennett, late April, and we're starting very early. So the summer has been kind of condensed for us.
Yeah, and you're going to need to pay attention to single tickets, because single tickets and season tickets are on sale now at mscopas.org.
So if you like what you see tonight, visit our website and order your tickets, or call our box office tomorrow morning. They open at 10 a.m.
All right, so let's get right to it by starting tonight's conversation about the two special events on the season. The first one is the opening night concert on August 27th that you referenced, and of course, it's Lyle Lovett and his large band.
Yes. You know, we had Lyle last year in an acoustic concert with John Hyatt, and it was wonderful, but only 750 people got to see it. And people came out of that concert wanting more. We were very fortunate that we were able to loop into the end of his summer tour, which will be wrapping up right after College Station in August. So we're bringing Lyle with his large band. Many people have asked, will Francine be here? And we have no reason to think she won't be here with him.
All right, very good.
It's
Lyle, also a friend of A&M, never hurts either.
Yes.
It's sponsored by Spirit of Texas Bank. So here's a snippet of what will be on the Rudder stage in less than 2 weeks.
Let me help you, mister. Just pull your hat down the way I do, and buy your pants just a little longer. And next time somebody laughs at you just might tell them you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. Texas wants you anyway. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. Texas wants you anyway. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. Texas wants you anyway. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. Texas wants you anyway. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. That's right, you're not from Texas. Texas wants you anyway. Texas wants you anyway.
Now again, Ann says these tickets are going fast. Buy online now at mscopas.org, or you can call the box office at 845-1234 tomorrow morning.
They open at 10 a.m. sharp.
Yeah, indeed they do. Don't put that off. Now, stay tuned, because you may want to get tickets to several shows tonight. And another show that's selling pretty fast is this season's cabaret performances at Miramont Country Club this December. It's Christmas with Rockapella.
The Miramont Country Club Dinner Theater is always popular on the Opus season, and we're very fortunate to have a great relationship with those folks at Miramont. They have a great chef, and this program includes a 3-course meal. We've had Rockapella a couple of times, and they always please. So we decide what could be better than having a little Christmas spirit concert out at Miramont.
Right.
Now, that's the good news. The bad news is we can only put about 240 people in that ballroom. Right. So we're doing 3 nights, which is about the equivalent of doing 1 performance in Rudder Theater. So if you don't have tickets already, you need to get them soon, because it's moving fast.
And that was going to be my next question. It's quite an intimate setting there, but what a gorgeous place to go to celebrate the holiday season with Rockapella. So with that, here's a preview of Christmas with Rockapella. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had
sing with you?
I would.
Rockapella has played the Intimate Gathering series in the past, so it's only fitting that we discuss that lineup of performances next. Like the Lyle Lovett and Rockapella concerts, understand that ticket availability is getting pretty limited for those 6 events too.
Yes, this series has just gotten more and more popular, and we are setting records this year with season ticket packages. I think we have less than 150 tickets left for all of these programs. So
not many.
if you're interested in any of them, it's time to get tickets. But let us show you what we have.
Right, the Intimate Gathering series is sponsored by Sterling Auto Group, Allstate exclusive agent Jackie Voss, and Jennifer Fredericks, Better Homes and Garden Real Estate. So, without further ado, here are the events coming to the Intimate Gathering series. Take it away, Ann.
We are so excited to welcome back the On Trio in January. These 3 beautiful and talented sisters have been transforming the world of classical music since they graduated from Juilliard. For their concert here, Angela, Maria, and Lucia will perform an electrifying program including works by Pat Metheny, Prince, and David Bowie. Fans of theater won't want to miss our next 3 programs on this series. The first, LA Theater Works, Judgment at Nuremberg. As the world commemorates the 75th anniversary of World War II, we are thrilled to be bringing one of the great courtroom dramas to our stage. The cast features a number of exemplary Hollywood and New York stage and screen actors, led by John Vickery and Josh Clark. Next up, the incomparable Montana Repertory Theater's Barefoot in the Park. In this popular dramedy, Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Neil Simon explores love, relationships, marriage, family, and the pangs of loss and the joy they bring. Welcome back to Tuna, Texas, where the Lions Club is too liberal and Patsy Cline never dies. Our dear friend Jaston Williams directs this all-new production of Greater Tuna. 2 actors, 20 characters, and 20 million laughs. World War I is the setting of our next historical play, during a moment of truce brought on Christmas Day. Come one, come all, and delay this horrible fight, to say Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. This is All Is Calm, the Christmas truce of 1914.
Come on and join, come on and join, come on and join.
Britain, Kitchener wants you. Join your country's army. God save the king.
If you want to find the sergeant major, I know where he is.
I know where he is. I know where he is. If your bowling is made from the white maple tree, with a wassailing bow, we'll drink unto thee.
What would happen, I wonder, if the armies suddenly and simultaneously went on strike?
It has everything to do with being alive today. It's just very relevant, even though it's from 100 years ago now.
And finally, you could say that a visit by this hilarious troupe is something of an Aggieland tradition. We simply can't let this election season pass without a visit from, you guessed it, the Capitol steps.
Now let me give you 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 reasons why you should vote for me, Donald Trump. Number 1, hottest first lady ever. Okay, maybe not. Number 2, I will put casinos in all government buildings. I'd put dice tables in the U.S. Capitol building, but it's already full of craps. Number 3, I admit, it's hard to admit this, but I may not be able to eliminate the national debt, but I will at least comb it over. Number 4, I know I said 3 originally, but I do everything bigger and better. 4 is the new 3. Number 4, I will change the name of the presidential aircraft to Air Force One. So vote for me, Donald Trump, or you're fired.
Well, Ann, that really does look like a fantastic lineup of programs. And remember what Ann said to get your tickets fast to all those performances.
Especially Greater Tuna and Capitol Steps.
Yeah, they're really going fast. Now, from intimate gatherings, let's chat about some family fun making its way to Rudder. You have a lot on the Opus lineup this season, Ann. And before we talk specifically about those shows, tell me your approach to selecting these programs.
Well, we listen to our audience, and our audience has been saying we want the big stuff, and we've had some of that. Next year we're just doing big stuff. So we won't be in the Rudder Theater, we'll be in the Rudder Auditorium for all 4 of these, and they're all big and they have lots of bells and whistles. Some are for families with young children, like Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. Yeah. Some are good for families with older children, teenagers, and some are just great for the whole family.
What it always amazes me year to year is how you pull all that together, and to get those requests all in has to add to the level of difficulty it takes to pull it together.
Well, people want what they want.
Sure.
And we can't always deliver exactly what they want, but we sure do try.
And you have tried for all these many years. And these 4 family shows are sponsored by Shenandoah Veterinary Clinic and by Opus Encore. And since you mentioned Daniel Tiger, just tell us a bit about that one.
Well, it's great to know that Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, as people have known him, still lives on in Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. It's a live stage performance of an animated PBS series that carries through all the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood messages. It's good stuff.
Right.
Really
so on that note, let's take a quick trip to Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood.
The Emmy-nominated Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood is coming to life on stage. It's Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood Live, Saturday, October 15th at Rudder Auditorium. Daniel and all his friends are hopping aboard the trolley to your town for an event filled with music, dancing, interactive fun, and terrific surprises. Don't miss Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood Live, Saturday, October 15th at Rudder Auditorium.
So, from Daniel Tiger to dinosaurs. Next up on the Family Fun lineup is Earth's Dinosaur Zoo Live. I can definitely see why this one has to be in Rudder Auditorium. So what can families actually expect with this show?
I think they can expect a really big wow with this show. I think all kids love dinosaurs from the time they're tiny little until they're grown. We're all fascinated with that. These are life-size dinosaurs. They're friendly dinosaurs, but they are life-size dinosaurs. So I think parents have to use their own judgment about what might frighten their children, although the dinosaurs won't be coming out to get them.
All right, this is sponsored by Friends of the George Bush Presidential Library and Museum. So with that, let's take a look at Dinosaur Zoo Live.
Get ready for the ultimate playdate. 65 million years in the making. Earth's Dinosaur Zoo Live leads you on a breathtaking tour that begins in prehistoric Australia. Meet an eye-popping collection of amazingly lifelike dinosaurs brought to life on stage. Earth's Dinosaur Zoo Live seems so extraordinarily realistic you may feel the urge to run and hide. But don't, you won't want to miss a minute of the fun.
Dinosaurs, tigers, and now reindeer. And you have 2 performances of the famed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical. So let's talk a bit about the North Pole's favorite sleigh leader.
This is just going to be incredible. Everybody loves the annual Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer TV show, and we still watch it with our grandchildren and have watched it for 100 years. Well, maybe not 100, but close. And this is that. It is a live stage, full-scale Broadway musical-sized Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
All right, so let's mark your calendars. On Sunday, November 20th, Opus offers 2 chances for your family to enjoy Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical.
The beloved TV classic soars off the screen and onto the stage this season. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical. See all your favorite characters from this TV classic come to life live on stage. This gleeful musical take on a holiday favorite will go down in history as a smashing hit. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical.
All right, I know this last one is the one family event that you've been talking to me about for months, and it's called the Aluminum Show, but a little more about that, please.
Well, I think of it between Blue Man Group and Stomp. It's sort of that kind of genre show. I think it'll appeal widely to the whole family, but it's really hard to explain it. I think we just need to show people what it is.
Yeah, unless you go, can't understand it. So let's do it. Here it is, a sneak preview of The Aluminum Show.
As the lights go out, substance becomes spirit. Metal breathes life. Time is melting into the beat, creating a magical rhythm. 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 The Aluminum Show. The Aluminum Show.
Wow, I'm starting to see what you mean. That does look pretty amazing. Tickets to all 4 of the Family Fun shows are on sale now at mscopus.org. Now, the Family Fun programs are sponsored by Shenandoah Veterinary Clinic and Opus Encore. Now, as fun as that last clip was, we can't end the show just yet because we have 6 main stage events to talk about. And this main stage season has a little bit of jazz, some ballet, some big time illusion, and 3 splashy Broadway shows. Tell me a bit about how the main stage season came together this year.
Unexpectedly, I think would be a word we could use.
Always a surprise.
We always talk to our audience. We always ask people what they want, and that's kind of where we start. And as I said earlier, we don't always be able to give them what they want, but we try. And we need variety. We serve a very broad audience.
Right.
We don't do a ballet every year, for instance, but we need to do some ballet. That's in our mission.
Right.
So we really kind of try to please everybody all the time.
All right, so let's start the discussion a bit here with a performer I could have sworn and has been here before, trumpeter Chris Bodie. Is this really his first time on an Opus season?
It is, but it is sort of amazing that we've not had him before because he is phenomenal. He is to the trumpet what Yo-Yo Ma is to the cello or Itzhak Perlman is to the violin. We don't do a lot of jazz, but we find that our jazz audience is growing and people who follow jazz know Chris Bodie.
And there's nothing better on the big stage there than jazz music. It's sponsored by Allstate. Here's a short preview of Chris Bodie live in concert. The second program on the main stage season is the return of the Russian National Ballet Theater performing Don Quixote. And ballet is back.
Ballet is back. We need to do ballet. As I said earlier, it's in our mission. Opus began with ballet and classical music, and we still have a lot of ballet enthusiasts out there.
Yeah.
The Russian National Ballet is about as good as it gets, and we've not, however, had Don Quixote.
All right,
so we look forward to that.
All right, so direct from Moscow, here's a preview of Don Quixote. Now let's talk a little Broadway. This next show you're going to tell us about is heading back to the Great White Way shortly after its 2-night stop in Rudder. Fans of magic won't want to miss The Illusionists live from Broadway.
The Illusionists have played Broadway for the past 2 seasons during the holiday time period, and they will be headed back there shortly after they're here. I saw it in Dallas last summer because I felt like it was one of those that I needed to see, and I was just amazed. 7 of the most amazing illusionists in the world come together, and everybody will be saying, wait, how did he do that?
Right.
It's really terrific.
All of us have a little intrigue when it comes to magic. I, for one, can't wait, and here's a preview of The Illusionists. Next up, a musical telling of one of the most popular holiday movies in recent history. Tell us about Elf, the musical.
Well, if you've seen the movie, the Broadway show is very, very much like the movie, only with lots of music, and the costuming is great, and it'll just be a great way to kick off the holiday season. We have not been able to do a holiday program for the last 2 years because of various renovations in Rudder, and so we're loading it up this year. We've got holiday things all over the place. So the other thing I would say is this package of 4 Broadway programs is just breaking all kinds of record sales. This combination has really resonated with people. So if you want to see Elf, you better hurry because the families are lining up for tickets and the A&M students are lining up for tickets.
Yeah. Who knew that 3 simple words would be made so famous by the movie I Know Him?
No.
Sponsored by our friends at Aggieland Credit Union. Let's meet Buddy and the rest of the talented cast of Broadway's hit musical, Elf.
It's the story of Buddy the Elf. It's the story of Buddy the Elf. It's the story of and the ones who are right on the shelf. It's the story of Buddy and the part of the story of Buddy. Never too late to grow and the love that Buddy shares. It's the story of Buddy the Elf. It's the story of
Now, Ann, you all have 2 Tony Award-winning musicals this season. The first one is Once.
Once is in my top 5 ever,
Wow.
ever favorite Broadway shows. It's one of those things that sneaks up on you and just washes over you. It's just one of the most incredibly beautiful shows I've ever seen. So, having said that, it's really a love story. It's a story about a young man who has lost his dream. He's kind of down and feels like his dreams won't ever come true, and he meets a young woman who really, really loves his love songs. So on stage, it's set in Ireland, in an Irish pub. What could be better than that?
Yeah.
And so on stage, there's a bar and musicians, and the cast really is filled with musicians who are performing live. It really is a complete experience.
I got to say, if it's one of your top 5 based on how many you've seen, that does speak volumes, truly. It does sound wonderful. So let's have a look at one of Broadway's most recent hits, Once. And finally, it's the big one of the season. It's a favorite of mine. Tell us what audiences can expect February 22nd through 26th, an entire week with Jersey Boys in town.
I think we're going to be very, very tired at the end.
Yep.
6 nights in the hall is a lot. I think audiences will be thrilled because it's thrilling audiences all over the world. You've told me that you've seen it a couple of times, and I think it just resonates with people. The music is, it's music of the 60s, it's baby boomer music, but it's music that has really transcended generations since. And it's a great story. It's not just a jukebox musical. There's just a great storyline about these 4 kids from Jersey who made it big, and the story of their rise and the story of, unfortunately, their fall.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can't really say enough about it, except that it's going to be here for a whole bunch of days.
Right.
We expect that we'll be drawing audiences from around the whole KBTX viewing area.
Right. Well, it's an 18-county area. Hopefully they'll show up. But I will say from Jersey Boys, you mentioned music of the 60s, it's music of the 70s in there, and
Yes.
it is a compelling and intriguing story. It's probably not what people expected. I was surprised by it, and I definitely will see it again. So this is one you really can't stay in your seats for, and you got several opportunities throughout that entire week to see it. It's sponsored by Tom and Mary Kirk of McGregor, Texas. So here's a preview of Jersey Boys.
This is a taste of reality about four guys that grew up in a certain way, in a certain period of time, who, with all odds against them, became successful.
Don't miss Jersey Boys. Jersey Boys, Broadway's blockbuster mega hit that has audiences and critics cheering. As the New York Times says, the crowd goes wild. It's the behind-the-music look at one of the greatest singing sensations of all time. This supercharged knockout follows Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons working their way from the streets of Newark to the heights of stardom.
And the 2006 Tony Award for Best Musical goes to Jersey Boys.
After taking home theater's highest honor, this international phenomenon has taken the world by storm, being named the best show in Vegas, winning Best Musical Awards in London and Australia, and shattering box office records across America. Now it's your turn to have the night of your life at the Tony Award-winning Best Musical, Jersey Boys, on Broadway, in Las Vegas, and across America.
Oh, what a night. It will be in Rudder Auditorium, or should I say nights. As Ann said, you have 6 chances to see one of the 5 biggest shows to come out of New York in the last 15 years, and it's still hot on Broadway today. And that'll wrap things up for tonight. Don't forget now, single and season tickets are on sale, some going really fast, so don't delay. Log on to mscopas.org, or you can call the box office tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So Ann, thanks so much for joining us. It is always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, Mike. And I look forward to seeing everyone for the 44th season of Opus. Don't forget, opening night is less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's coming pretty quick. How could we forget that? Good night, everyone.
Good night.